Well, Tennessee fans pointed towards this game. The opener in Norman, Oklahoma, Josh Heupel going back to where he won a national championship. Would Tennessee be the SEC team and welcome Oklahoma to the SEC that we thought they would? Boy, how about the defense for Tennessee? Vols open conference play with a 10-point win over the Sooners of Oklahoma. Welcome to the Food City Locker Room, presented by Karns Law. This is the Players Show. Well, don't adjust your sets, everybody. Chris Brown looks better this week. Mark Packer along with Troy Fleming, Jayson Swain. Chris was a little under the weather, so we called in one of the best running backs that Tennessee's ever seen in Troy Fleming.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
But I'd say fullback at least.
It was a gritty performance on Saturday night, Jason. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't beautiful, but a 10-point win in Norman, Oklahoma is gorgeous.
It's beautiful if you respect and love defense.
Sure.
I mean, it was a clinic. The
Yeah.
pressure that Tennessee was able to put on Oklahoma for all 4 quarters, the playmaking abilities from the secondary, the hits by the secondary, Jacoby Thomas laying the wood on the sideline, seeing Jamal McCoy make a play on the interception. I mean, it was a really, really fun game for defense. Offensively, not so much.
Right.
Yeah, there's room to improve offensively, but, you know, with high-powered offenses like this we've seen over the years from multiple teams, a lot of them don't have a strong defense behind it, and
Right.
Tennessee has a strong defense, like Jason alluded to. Just watching them fly around, make plays, the defensive line, getting the pressure consistently all night, and then, like you said, Jamal McCoy getting an interception. It's a pretty play. He had no defender in the flat. He sank and baited him into throwing it and picked it off, and it was a big moment at the beginning of the game.
Here's the thing. Defenses win championships. I mean, we all know that. The offenses, it's kind of like drive for show, putt for dough in golf. So this team did what it needed to do. And offensively in the second half, Heupel pulled the foot off the gas and just wanted that clock running. So let's keep that in mind.
Well, I mean, he put his defense in position to be successful.
Right.
I thought the defense was put in a really tough spot with the 2 fumbles, the sack fumbles. And Josh Heupel knew without your starting tackles and the way Oklahoma was playing, and he said this in the postgame, I mean, Oklahoma was giving him some different structures that, they were not seeing on film. And so Heupel adjusted on the fly, understood that their offense struggled against our defense, and just ran the ball. Kudos to Dylan Sampson, the offensive line. DeShaun Bishop doing a really good job of holding on to the ball and not putting the ball on the ground.
DeShaun's in studio tonight, and I know for you, Troy, as a running back, it makes you feel good to see everybody talks about this offense and how it's this high-powered offense, but it fundamentally starts with that running game, and there's a nice 1-2 punch right now with Dylan Sampson and DeShaun Bishop.
Yeah, absolutely. They complement each other very well. And a lot of teams you don't see that have a 1-2 punch like that. And, being co-running back, sometimes, you might be thinking like, well, I need my carries, but you can tell that there's synergy and there's a friendship amongst those 2 guys. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who gets the carry as long as they're making plays.
Those runs, those tough runs that, look like 2- and 3-yard runs,
Yeah.
they look like they're unsuccessful, that's what sets up the big-time play in the passing game. You saw Dante Thornton be able to catch a slant and go. You saw Brew McCoy be able to catch some hitch routes, and then it opened it up for him to run the hitch and go on the outside. All that was set up because of this run game that you saw all night long from Tennessee.
On the offensive line, obviously, you had some challenges there. You had Lance Hurd not playing. Then you had an injury. You had right tackle moving to left tackle. You had some movement. But what I love about these 2 running backs, and I don't want to camp out here for the whole show, is they're both patient runners. They both set up their blockers in front of them. They run patiently and then hit the hole. They're both really good at that.
Yeah, you have to have patience. I know, particularly in this offense, sometimes you might get a little ahead of yourself, want to make the big play because this offense provides you the opportunity to do that. But patience, I've always learned patience to the hole, burst through the hole, and then when you get to the second level, then you outrun them. And those guys do a great job of doing that.
Jason, what you could tell as you look at the stats right here, you could tell what Oklahoma wanted to do is for the very first play, they wanted to shut the running game down and make Tennessee beat them through the air. I think Tennessee stayed balanced, stayed within themselves, had some big offensive plays, had a consistent running game, and did what they needed to do to win an SEC game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game when you're playing defense in the SEC is you have to stop the run first. And Oklahoma did a really good job of doing that. I thought they did a good job of confusing us a little bit with some of their motions behind there in the secondary pre-snap, and didn't give Nico a clear look of what he wanted to do. You understand something. Brent Venables is a championship-winning defensive coordinator.
Sure is.
And so you knew he was going to do some things that Tennessee did not see on film. So you have to give those guys credit. But, you know, Tennessee just needed those big plays. You saw one here from Brew McCoy on the slant route. And I felt like Brew needed to make a statement in this football game, and he definitely did that.
Yeah, 4 catches, 92 yards for Brew. You know, who I'm happy to see having success is that guy right there.
Absolutely.
You know, Dante Thornton came in here from Oregon, so much accolades, so much attention to him, and obviously for him, he was disappointed with how it started. He's becoming that big play threat that Tennessee thought he was going to be when they got him.
He absolutely is, and sometimes it just takes a little while to get adjusted and get used to playing. Some injuries that kept him out at the end of last year. But he's a big guy. You can see the athleticism and the playmaking ability and getting the ball in his hand. And I would just say this, anytime it's in this catch radius, he's going to make a big play. And having those types of receivers is a luxury.
Well, Oregon gave up on him, honestly. Oregon felt like they were not losing anything when they lost him into the portal.
He only had 15 catches.
Yeah, and so Tennessee had a receiver 2 years ago that lit the world on fire and won the Biletnikoff. And I think a lot of people just assumed that, Dante Thornton's going to come in, he's going to take over where Jalen Hyatt left off.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a little unfair for Dante Thornton. He was pressing a lot last year. I thought you saw that and how he was unable to bring in some tough catches. And then he moves to the outside position, and he's been comfortable ever since.
I'll start with you on this, Jayson. As you look to the Tennessee keys to the game, I guess this is what you said before the game. So these are the keys to exactly what happened. What stands out to you there?
Well, Tennessee just being really good on third down. I mean, keeping OU's defense on the football field, keeping OU's offense off the football field. OU struggled to really, allow their defense to rest. I think the third down conversions is really what stands out to me. Both teams were able to get to the quarterback. They had 3 sacks. We had 3 sacks. The third down conversions stand out the most here.
I do want to talk about the defense. We've got to take a break. We'll do that when we come back. And also, what I thought was a key to this game is those wide receivers out there, they're helping out their young quarterback. So much attention to Nico. There were some great catches in that game against Oklahoma. Tennessee now number 6 in the country. We'll talk about what's next when we come back on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza Law Firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey, Sterling, man, come on, we got a roof to replace.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Sterling, you ready to go to the top? Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now, this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
I was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
So if this team's going to win a championship, it'll be on the defensive side. And the depth on the defensive front, everybody keeps talking about it. They kept talking about it during the national broadcast. Do we remember a time when you guys were playing where there was this much depth on the defensive front four?
Man, I'm an older gentleman, and I would have to say it goes back to probably about
2001?
2001.
Okay.
But at that time, I think we were able to go 8 deep. But I think these guys could go a little bit deeper than
Yeah,
that.
Hainsworth, Henderson.
Bernard Jackson, Amari Hand. I mean, Rashad Moore, all these guys ended up playing in the NFL at some point.
Rashad Moore.
Boo-boo, yeah.
How about your time there? I mean, because I remember when Troy played, there was a whole lot of depth there, and that's why they were so good, and they were one win over LSU away from playing for a national title.
We had some good players, but not like 01. I mean, 01 had Hainsworth and Henderson playing together. And this defensive line, they don't have that, but they have the ability to go 12 deep, and they're pretty good. The drop-off is not too significant at all. But we had guys like Paris Harrison, God rest his soul, and then Jesse Malona, also rest in peace, and had some really good players. Turk McBride on the outside. So we had some good players, but this group is better and deeper.
What makes this defense so good? Dumb question, but Jason, I'll start with you. What makes them so good?
Rodney Garner is the best defensive line coach in the country. I mean, it's really that simple. And those guys are hungry, they're humble, and you can't play
competitive
for
inside the walls.
Yeah, you just can't play for Rodney Garner unless you have those qualities about you.
Yeah. You said it best, and it was selfless competitiveness, cheering on your teammate. Even though you guys know you want to be on the field together or you want to get your reps, it's not about individuals, it's about the team. And everybody knows any time you've been in the locker room, if the team is doing well, as we say, everybody's going to get an opportunity to eat.
We talked about at the start of the year if there was a quote, weakness on this team, if there was something that you were concerned about, it was the defensive secondary. But when your front seven is that good, when your front seven is wreaking that much havoc, boy, it makes that secondary's job just a lot easier.
The only reason why we felt like the secondary was a weakness is because we didn't know. It wasn't because they were not good. They obviously were brought in for a reason.
Just a lot of new guys.
Yeah, we allowed the guys that transferred out to do that because we felt like we can get better, get more athletic, and we did that. We just didn't know. So that was the weakness, just the fear of the unknown. But now we know. We know Jamal McCoy is one of the best covered guys in the league. He's certainly one of the best on this football team. And then we got some guys in the secondary that can rotate in and out and be trusted and do their job.
And at the linebacker position, we don't mention Keenan Peely enough.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, he's my favorite player on the team.
Is he?
Man, he's a head buster.
Y'all same age?
Yeah, we probably are much the same age, married with kids and everything too. But no, him going out last year and getting hurt after the Virginia game was a big loss. You can tell he's just a football player. He's a throwback, in my opinion, to the old school linebackers that would come down the hill and hit you.
He led the team in solo tackles. He had 4 solos. Maybe it's because of the number 11. I'm not really sure. But, look, Henry Toto was a really good player before he left. Maybe it's thank you. Maybe it's the number. But I feel like they play with the same kind of tenacity.
They do, but they're two totally different people. Henry wasn't as physical as Keeney is. And that's the biggest difference between the two of those guys.
And Arian Carter, fast as can be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was hosed out of a call or two last night with hands to the helmet.
That one at the very end where
that
he
was so weak.
I mean, it was like, really?
That was so weak, but he's so athletic. He's going to be a good one here.
I do want to say this back to the offensive side, and I alluded to this before the commercial break, is that for a young quarterback, and Nico is a young quarterback. He's full of potential, but he's a young quarterback. He needs help. He needs wide receivers to make catches. There were some great catches, Jason, in that game of guys that reached way out and made great grabs for their quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Brew McCoy ran a great route versus man-to-man coverage. The field was open on the inside, and then that's taking candy from a baby. And this throw right here had everyone in the country with their jaw on the ground. I mean, this was a perfect pass. Dante Thornton did not break stride one bit. That's why Nico is going to be a first-round pick when his time comes to lead Tennessee.
And the great thing about him and Jackson Arnold both were in the same recruiting class, but it goes to tell you which program has done a good job of developing and teaching patience, because Nico could have got antsy last night and wanted to make a big play, but he let the plays come to him, and when he had the opportunity, he capitalized on it.
So I want to bring in now, for our Food City player perspective, as you look at the latest college football poll, by the way, Tennessee does move up to number 5. very quickly ahead of Ole Miss, despite the fact that Hotty Toddy did what they needed to do. Okay, so DeShaun Bishop is in studio tonight, and those who don't know DeShaun is a man of very few words. DeShaun, you're a guy that you don't like to do your talking in situations like this. You like to do it on the field. Are you having fun over there because you've gone from preferred walk-on to being a guy that's very important?
Yeah, I don't show too much emotion, but I'm very humble and very blessed to be in the position I am now. You know, so I don't know anyone take that for granted. Like, I'm blessed to be at Tennessee, blessed to be playing with one of the best teams in the country, in my opinion, and one of the best running back rooms in the country, and coached by one of the best running back coaches in the country, and coached by one of the best head coaches in the country. So it's truly a blessing to be in the spot I'm in right now.
Troy?
Yeah, DeShaun, with the depth in the running back room, tell me, you know, being co-1-2 punch with Dylan Sampson, and you having to share carries, how many carries does it take you to get going and get in your groove?
I don't say to me, you know, after that first or two carries, I'm pretty much in my groove, you know. Just my mindset approaching when I'm in the game, I make every rep count, you know, so you're going to get my all on every rep, for sure.
So we're going to take her. Here's what's interesting, because Jayson will do the Food City player perspective. But from what we can figure out, and I was texting with Tom Krieger of the Tennessean, if these guys aren't 1 and 2 in state history in Tennessee in career yardage, they're 1 and 3, because what we can figure out is you guys are 1 and 2 in all-time yard. It doesn't happen very often that these two guys are in studio. Let's take a break. Jayson will head over there for the Food City player perspective with DeShaun Bishop when we come back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop.
Where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
Is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama Zizi approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Man, come on, we got a roof to replace.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Sterl, you ready to go to the top? Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make your smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Training. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Training to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
Here with DeShaun Bishop, Tennessee's running back, and a couple of great games so far this season.
Yeah.
During the preseason, in fall camp and the scrimmages, you have to go up against Keenan Peely, Arion Carter, Jeremiah T-Lander. How have those guys helped you become a better running back?
Shoot, we got one of the best defenses in the country, so, I mean, you either going to get better or you're going to get mauled up by them guys. So my mindset going to them is like just going to attack, you know. Got to have my mind right. And it helps me, especially in the games, you know, because that's the best defense I'm going to face all year. So going against them is kind of, going against other defenses is kind of like, you know, I didn't see the best, so they're going to get my best and whatnot, you know.
What was your reaction when you saw the running back on the other sideline last night take a hit from Jacoby Thomas?
Shoot, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even see that till after the game was over. But I mean, that's what we do, man. I'm telling you, man. All we do is hit, man. Coming down laying the wood, man, for sure.
What's some of the advantages of being from Knoxville, playing at the University of Tennessee? Sometimes you have guys that, you know, they come from out of state, and it's the best decision for them to leave home.
Yeah.
What's some of the advantages for you being right here from Knoxville, playing at Tennessee?
I say the probably biggest thing just my support cast. You know, I got my family, I got the whole really Knoxville on my back, you know, and the whole Karns community, you know, and I think it just feels good, you know, that all the guys in the locker room tell me this all the time, that you represent your hometown, like you're balling out your hometown, and a lot of guys wish they could do that. So I hold that really good.
One of the coolest things about playing at Tennessee is more times than not, you're going to play with someone in your room that plays at the next level. Troy did it when he was here at Tennessee. I've done it, and you did it last year playing with the guy that's now, you know, playing for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
What did you learn from players around you in that running back room?
I say me being hurt. My first year being there was the biggest thing. Probably was learning. You know, seeing Jay Wright, how he approached every day, came in the building. You know, and his off-the-field work is really translated to his on-the-field work and his success that he was able to do when he was here. And what I learned from Jay Wright was just come in and put your head down and work. You know, Jay Wright, he worked every day, man, every day to be where he is now, and that's the kind of the mindset I take to it.
Yeah, Jalen Wright seemed like he passed the torch to Dylan Sampson, and you and DeSean, you're holding the torch right now. What do you learn from Dylan Sampson? You guys one of the best 1-2 punchers in the league.
I just learned from Dylan that just be a competitor. You know, if anything ain't gonna work, I mean, you just gotta let the game come to you. You know, Dylan's good at letting the game come to him. You know, being able to make people miss. You know, just being a big leader too. I impact a lot from Dylan off the field. You know, he very smart man. You know, probably more mature than he is at a kid his age. You know, and he teaches me a lot of stuff that goes into all of this.
What was the environment like last night? I mean, it was really the first time you played on the road in a big-time SEC game. NC State, you know, that doesn't necessarily count. It was a neutral site game. But what was it like playing at Oklahoma last night?
I say from just getting off the bus, you know, it was just soaking the moment in, you know. Their friends were rowdy, you know, they stayed to the end, you know, even though it kind of got carried away a little bit at the end, but they stayed to the end, you know, they were loud, they were into the game, they were feeding off the defense was feeding off their energy, you know, so it was just a really good environment, I say, but nothing like Neyland, though, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, DeShaun Bishop, one of the best stories in SEC so far, and his story will continue to be one to follow.
Yeah, you know, I've always said that it's so hard when I do high school football broadcasts. How do you know when it translates to the SEC level? DeShaun's one of those guys that you knew wherever he played, it was going to translate. We'll talk about keys to an open week, I guess, when we come back on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law. As we go to break, though, if you would like to support the charity that is Zakai's Assist to help with his nephews and hydrocephalus, scan the QR code. Much more information coming about this as the Get Neyland Loud shirts that are brought to you by Exterior Home Solutions. They'll be available for sale, and a portion of the proceeds will go to support Zakai's Assist. We'll be right back right after this.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama Zizi approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hi, I'm David Ball, National Sales Manager here at Legend Fitness. Legend Fitness has been built on longevity and quality. Our racks are fully welded and has the least amount of bolts in the industry, made to stand up to the test of time. Because at Legend Fitness, we deliver quality and we want our customers to be Legend strong.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center at Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Keys to Victory is brought to you by Garza Law.
Yeah, and I like the Vols' chances of not losing this week because they're off, Jason.
This is a great time to really look at yourself, look at the tendencies that you have created over the last four weeks, and then one is including your pass rush, pass protection, making sure that you protect Nico. The team's hopes and dreams are in the hands of Nico, so you got to make sure that he's healthy, and then great week to get back to fundamentals, working on yourself, not necessarily an opponent.
What you doing on an off week? Is this a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question. If I wasn't hurt, which usually I wasn't, I usually went home.
Okay.
Or I stayed around here and just chilled out, or tried to go visit friends from high school that were other colleges that I had opportunity I hadn't seen in a while.
I would say this, the team's pretty healthy right now. I mean, you're a little banged up, but I think, you got the 2 off weeks now. So this is probably a good time after Oklahoma, is it not?
It is, because the second off week is going to come probably in the thick of the season, like when it's in the meat of the SEC schedule, and you really don't want to stray away from that. So it's a good time.
That's a great time for an off week. You got some guys dinged up a little bit, but everyone should be able to play when you go to Arkansas. So clean up those mistakes you made against Oklahoma. It's a great time to make those mistakes, and a big time win on the road at Oklahoma.
This season's about to get real serious. We've got about 30 seconds left, but you've set yourself up 4-0, number 5 in the country, and all of a sudden it's kind of like, here we go. Now the Vegas odds say that you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm with
Vegas.
Great analysis right there. I'm telling you. I actually said something that made sense. Actually made sense. Tennessee is off this week. Then the following week they'll travel to Arkansas. For DeShaun Bishop, Troy Fleming, Jayson Swain, I'm Mark Packer. Thanks for making us a part of your night on the Food City Locker Room, presented by Garza Law.